Hello and welcome to episode 221. Man, from all the time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Pleasure to be with you, Obed. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good to be here, man. I am doing good. I am relaxed. Took a couple days off from work, so I have been just relaxing. Not doing that much, which is awesome. That'll be, I've only answered one email, Joel. That feels phenomenal.
For those of you that don't know, Obed is one of the hardest working guys I know. So I know you needed this break. Definitely good to see you refreshed, man.
I needed it. Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I've been doing good. Nothing too crazy. Um, I have, I see the chat on Facebook. Hey guys, Uh, um, I, I have I had a revelation yesterday, Joe. A very interesting one. Since we've been kind of hot talking about Disney lately, right? I went to Disney Springs yesterday.
Okay.
We're in spring break. My daughter's off from school, so we went bowling. And everything was good. There. Um, I'm walking around Disney Springs, right? And I am thinking two things. One, they yesterday they announced a new resort that will be opening at the Polynesian. Now they're going to open a new Disney Vacation Club, which I think that Disney should not open more hotels because they don't have any more space for people to fit into the park. That's a story for a different podcast, right? But I was thinking about how well kept and clean Disney Springs is, man.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah,
space.
yeah. It's like shout outs to the Disney Springs crew because your guys are keeping it legit. Like, you guys are cleaner than the parks, so you should be proud of yourselves. And that's my bit of constructive criticism for Disney today. And I will not say any further. Um, Joe has been doing good. I'm still playing Horizon. Horizon's awesome. It's an awesome game. I'm actually getting to progress pretty good in the story, and I probably should be like where I am right now. If I've only should have just focused on the story, I may have been there. But when I'm going from point A to point B to progress the story, there's like stuff in between, and I always get I always get hung up on that. It's like, hey, I need help. We got to figure out what's wrong with the water supply. It's like, yeah, I'll help you guys out. So I just get involved in all those shenanigans, but it's good. That game is really good. They patched it again. I haven't had any other major like graphical glitches or hitches or anything, right? So it's been pretty solid. After the previous patch, they patched it again this week, just for stability, and it's been fine. One thing, so I took a video and I haven't posted it on. I wanted to post it on the normal time YouTube channel. I took a video of a PS5 actually like squirming because I was playing Devil May Cry 5 on the Legendary Night mode, right? When you get like bombarded by enemies. Towards the later part of the game, I got to a room, bro. I thought, honestly, like I thought the PS5 was gonna crash, like hard crash, bro. And I'm gonna post a video. I'm gonna try my best. I took a video of it. I just need to send it to my phone so I can post it because I have never seen that. Like I've never seen like a performance hit this crazy since like early PS3 days.
Wow.
It was bonkers, dude. No screen tearing though, which is interesting because PS3 was, very very prone for like screen tearing all this stuff. But the
Yeah.
the slowdown, bro, this thing got to like 4 frames a second, dude. It was a freaking slideshow, and it was a combination, right? It was a combination of what I was doing to get through that room because that room was bonkers, and the room itself because there was no. It's an enclosed room, so everything you don't have a skybox like in some other levels where the levels open. You have a skybox and you have the background with you, right? This level you're basically kind of like in a cave area, and then you got all this thing happening, and then a slideshow, and then I started doing like crazy stuff with the weapons where you have probably like a dozen projectiles flying around with like effects, and it's like, oh, you could see it like, oh, it was like 4 frames a second, dude, and it got crazy, and then I started like doing crazy stuff, and it got worse, and then when the battle ended, I thought the PS5 was gonna crash. Like I thought, like it froze, like hard froze,
Yeah.
right? And then the game was like, boom, then gave me the end of the fight. I was like, wow, I thought it was gonna crash, and it didn't. Like, kudos to the to how well made that game is, because that game's solid. So very interesting stuff. I want to post it on the YouTube channel. I'll see if I can post it everywhere. I just need
Yeah.
to. I took the video. It's funny because I stopped, right, and you can see that I stopped moving the controller, and Dante's there like doing his thing, and because I was like, I should just take a video of this because this was crazy. So I'll go ahead and send it over, and I'll post it on the socials, so you guys can see a PS5
That,
squirming.
that that's a great moment for us to plug our socials. If you're now following us on Facebook, Twitter,
There
Instagram,
you go,
at No Load Time, all
right down
together
there.
there.
Yeah,
If you're watching on video, you'll see those social handles below.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But look out for Obid's video.
Yeah, I'll see if I can post it tomorrow, but I'll you guys will see it. Joel, what's up with you, man?
Yeah, well, first of all, funny you mentioned that because like I haven't had that happen yet on my PS5, right? PS4 is the last time I had I had one really crazy one, but it wasn't about a well-made game, unfortunately. It was
Oh,
about Assassin's Creed Unity, right?
oh,
That one, dude, like there was an explosion. There's this a really cool actually scene in the game. But there's one where like you're running through like around as the floor is exploding behind you, right? And like the last jump I have to make is like up onto like this, I don't know, like Liberty Bell looking kind of thing, whatever you want to call it, right? And I'm like jumping on towards it, freezes, audio starts going crazy, and then my machine just
oh,
and it
really?
was not, yeah, like the PS4 was going making crazy noises. I thought that was gonna explode on me, for crying out loud. How it sounded. I've never experienced anything like that in a long time, like you mentioned. And it wasn't like it wasn't like, it usually does that where it kind of power surges where it goes crazy and then it just restarts on time. Like PS3 had that happen a couple times, right? Like
Yeah.
it would go really crazy and then it would just reboot the whole system. But PS4, that didn't happen. It just stayed stuck on it. So I had to manually restart the machine just
Wow.
for it to come back out. Crazy. Well, I was more upset that it canceled out my progress. It wasn't saved to the drive, so I had to restart the episode. But no, I haven't had that with PS5 yet.
Yeah.
That's more of an example of I, if it happened with like DMC or something like that, right? Like we're talking about games that are running at an intense level, right?
Yeah.
Using that hardware to its core.
Yeah. I mean, because the game just by itself, like, right, it looks way better than the PS4
Oh
version. Me
yeah,
having played the PS4 version quite a bit, but then this mode is crazy where there's rooms that on the PS4 version you would get 4 enemies, right? You would get a room. The same room will have like 16, 20 enemies. So you have all this animation and particle effects and lighting and all this stuff happening at the same time, and yeah. I thought it was gonna crash because I thought it actually like hard froze, right, for a
yeah,
second, and then it continued. And you'll see it when I post the video,
yeah.
because it was something else, man. But I was able to finish it. I was able to finish the MC5 on the Legendary Dark Knight mode, and then wanted to go back and see if I could finish the blue, just getting the blue orbs, because I was missing a few. I only have, I think, 6 or 7 left. that I totally forgot where they were. I was able to get them all on PS4, but PS5, as like I was playing it a little bit different, and it's like I don't want to use like I don't want to go back and use a guide. If I remember something, I'll remember it, right, and then I'll I'll just let it happen naturally. So I'll probably just go back and do those at a later time because I still have Elden Ring to go to, and then Horizon's been taking the absolute majority of my time, and yeah, it's been good, man.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. I mean, just that story though, I can't wait to see the video because that's gonna crazy. I mean, we take care of our stuff. Like like you mentioned, I think before on the show, you mentioned like almost every week you wipe down, make sure there's like no dust on your machine.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm similar with myself. Take care of it.
I wonder
Oh,
if you
but
can.
I don't even.
I wonder if you can see those on the app now. The captures.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, but I don't even think I've ever. I don't think I can't say for sure, but I don't remember ever like rage throwing my controller like for any console I've ever owned. I can't. I may have happened. I don't want to say for sure, but like I, we take care of our stuff. Is what I'm saying. So obviously that's a performance issue, guys,
yeah.
not a user issue.
Yeah. I got a. It's funny that you mentioned that because yesterday I was watching like a, a like a Twitch like rage video.
Oh man, those
Pe-
are good.
People raging on Twitch. I was casually watching the video, right, and my daughter comes in and it's like, "Oh, what are they doing?" I was like, "Oh yeah," so they're getting upset because they're losing at the game. It's like, and then she sees like this guy's like smashes his keyboard on his head and all this crazy stuff. Right, is ridiculous. And she asked me, it's like, did you ever get angry like playing a game? I was like, well, when I was like little, right, I would get angry and I told her it's like, well, the room that I had when I was a kid, it had I had carpet floor, so I would throw my controller, but you know, I never like
Soft landing.
exactly. It's like I never like actually broke a controller, like
Mm,
even when I got really upset when I was a kid, and not even now, right? It was like
no.
now that I have like I didn't do it as a kid, right? Now I have the conscience. It's like it's $80 for a friggin' controller, right? I'm not gonna break it, right? My time is precious. I don't want to spend it buying a controller. So,
Yep.
so she was like, "Oh, okay." I get angry sometimes. And I told her, "It's like I know I've seen you, but you're okay. You don't go too crazy." And it's just like, "Okay." So,
She's learning from dad.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
But
yeah,
no, it
no.
is funny watching those
Oh,
videos
it's great,
online of
man.
like
It's like you
people
see
just
keycaps flying everywhere.
fly. Yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
my
why
goodness.
would they
Do you
do
remember when the
this?
Wii came out? All the stories of the
Yeah,
people who were like throwing their controllers directly into their televisions or
they
just
weren't.
throwing them in
Yeah, they
general.
weren't using the strap, and
The
controllers
strap.
were
Yeah.
flying off. Yeah, man, it was something
What a
else.
mess.
Yeah, that's why they had to include those straps with the Wii, and then they had that cushion that made the Wii mode look really weird. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
remember
then
that.
the Joy Cons come with a strap. So
Yeah. Do you
so
use the strap, Obed, when
for the
you
Joy
play any of
Cons,
your
I
motion? Yes,
do.
for your
Yes,
Joy-Cons.
yeah. I told my
See?
daughters like, do not ever play Just Dance without the strap. Like
Good
no,
man.
don't do it. Why? Because it's gonna be flying off. You're gonna break something. I'm not. He's like, okay,
See? Teach him young.
yeah, man. No, you gotta.
Wise man. Wise man. Wise man, Obed.
Watch one. It's the Obi-Wan part of me that comes out. Speaking of
Yes.
Obi-Wan, dude, it's like
Obed
okay.
one Kenobi.
Well, I'll talk Obi-Wan in a second because I just
Sure.
have something to share. But yeah, I don't know if you have a WhatsApp. We can
Honestly, we could roll right in. I
roll
mean,
right in.
I've been playing more Ratchet and Clank, guys. It's a really
Oh,
good
that game's
game. What
legit,
more can
man.
I say? Yeah,
Game's
we
so
could roll
good.
in.
Game's so good, man. So you'll go ahead and talk about the Miss Marvel trailer because
Yeah,
I okay right.
yeah,
We at No Low Time we are known to be a fairly I say open minded and fair about everything, right? Go
right.
ahead and talk about the trailer first.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, didn't love it. I don't
Okay.
know how you did.
Okay.
I didn't think it was bad. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm still interested in watching the show. But it felt like the superhero aspect is secondary, if that makes sense. And so that kind of concerned me because I started to feel a little CW, man. Like it felt like a maybe a higher production CW stuff, you know?
Okay.
And that part of it started to really, get me just a little concerned. Like in the beginning of the trailer, it reminded me a lot of like the original, like the first Spider-Man, like Spider-Man Homecoming, right?
Okay.
Where it's like, he's coming of age, he's young and he's just trying to be a superhero and be a kid, and like that part of it, right? Like I liked. But then you just keep watching and it feels like it keeps, like you randomly get a flash of purple fists and then you go back to just being a regular person. And I'm like, there's no teasing of, who the villain might be, or what the real storyline that they're trying to adapt, right? It just kind of feels like, hey, I'm a girl with these powers. Cool, I love that. Let's take it a step further. Now it is, Obed, the first real like trailer we got for this, so I can't be too harsh on it, right? It's
Okay.
just giving us a real image of what this character is going to be like on screen. And I think fundamentally she looks really cool. I think, like, she looks like Miss Marvel, like exactly like what if I didn't know that they were making Miss Marvel and they just played this trailer, like that's Miss Marvel. It's very obvious, very very, it feels very true, right, to what we've seen before with her.
Okay.
But I am like a little bit concerned, man, with this one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. Yeah. Kindred spirits, you and I.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. And I think it's probably because I'm not the target demographic. Like they're not going for me.
Yes.
Like this is not a show for me.
Yes.
Clearly, and maybe it'll be good. But yeah, I have to 100% agree with you, man. The CW vibes are strong with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like I think you're right. Like it's not targeted to people like us,
Yeah.
right? So we have to look at it from a different lens.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
look, at the end of the day, it's
Like
Disney,
I'm not
right? Like
crapping on
it's
it,
gonna
right?
be
Yeah,
no, and
it's
at the
like
end of the
that
day, it's Disney.
He-Man.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
entertaining,
it's like that He-Man kids show that's on Netflix. That's
right?
not for like the Revelation. That's I'm the target
Uh,
audience for that,
Right.
but not the other show. So I'm not gonna take a dump on that show because I'm
Yeah.
not like that show's not for me. So
Right.
you know, but
That's true.
yeah, that's how I feel about this.
Yeah, and maybe that's the whole point. Like, it sticks that demographic as long as they like it, but it's still, is true to the Marvel formula, Marvel world. Then I think it'll be just fine. I was telling someone else this. Like, you look at this show, you look at Shang-Chi, you look at Eternals, right? These are characters that, no offense, people don't care about
Oh,
their
they're
source material.
they're D
Like the
tier.
the Eternals, nobody knew who they were before this. Nobody can name five of them. I think even after the movie, I don't think most people can name many of them, but that's for another reason. But I gotta be careful here. But I will say, like with Shang-Chi, like as an example, right? It's the same thing. Like no one knew who he was before this, right?
Yep.
Marvel's at a place where they can't experiment with these characters and not feel like they're ruining a legacy character like Captain America or Spider-Man, or those kind of characters, right? Like they can experiment, and if it works, great. If audiences don't love it the way maybe they hoped it to be, well then they can still continue it if they want, maybe try and fix it based on the feedback, which Kim Feige's really good about that, with getting the feedback and making adjustments. Or they can just completely pivot, go somewhere else. Like it's very harmless when you've got, like for example, Ironheart, right? I think there's only like 6 issues ever of Ironheart. Like it did not sell. They had to cancel the series. The character was kind of created more for like television shows for kids and stuff like that, right? Like how we're talking about like this certain demographic, right? But
Yeah.
like comic book people and stuff like didn't really attach to it. It doesn't have much issues. So there's no one's gonna be no like, oh, Ironheart fans are gonna be butthurt if it's not good. Like no one's gonna be offended because it's just it's not risky, right? There's very low risk, but if it works, there's very high rewards. We know this with
Oh yeah,
Marvel.
yeah,
So
exactly. And
so
it's the same
I
thing with this, right? Because I
yeah,
was talking to someone at work that did not know who Ms. Marvel was when the
right,
trailer came out, right?
right,
And it's funny because the trailer here's all right, something that it's not usual for me, right? It's usually when when you get a trailer for either a Marvel or a Star Wars thing, I want to see other people's reactions. So I talked to this coworker about Miss Marvel. Oh, the trailer came out, and I was like, "Oh, who dat?" And I was like, "Oh, she got stretchy powers and whatnot." Okay, moved on. So that was I watched the trailer and I was like super indifferent towards it, and kept minding my business, and went through the comments, and of course, right, but that's you know like those could be either infuriating or just have a good time just reading them, because some of them are just hilarious. But yeah, when I went down to the comments right on the video. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the dislike because of YouTube disabling the dislike. I mean, I have it enabled on my computer, but not on the app, right? But I would scroll down to the comments, and most of it was like very, very negative. And I was like, oh yeah, this is like exactly what I thought it was gonna be. This was like super toxic down here, and I knew
Yeah.
that it was
Yeah.
exactly what it's gonna be. So
Yeah.
right, and I moved on. What's crazy, Joe, is that I have not stopped thinking about Obi-Wan since the trailer
I
came out, and I am
know.
just so excited.
How many
And
times have you watched it,
oh my
man?
gosh, dude, it's like 3 times a day. I think today's the first day I haven't watched it. Honestly,
If it shows up
honestly,
on my feed, I just
I'll
get
watch it.
glued to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've watched like dozens of reactions to the
Oh yeah.
Obi-Wan trailer, right?
Mhm.
Versus I have not watched a single reaction for this show or a breakdown of the trailer, because
Okay.
I'm just is not for me, right?
Yeah.
And I am not saying that it's crap, because I can't
Not at
judge
all.
it. I can't judge it. It's like I haven't watched it, right? Um,
Yeah.
it's just that it's just not for me, right? I'm not the target audience. It's not gonna resonate with me. Um, you know, move on, basically. So
Yeah.
and I don't want to say it's unfortunate, right? Because I still give it the benefit of the doubt. It could come out, or it could be good, right? I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
watch it. I mean, I'll watch it because something in the future is gonna be something in the future is going to reference something that happens in this show, and I need to know, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm still gonna watch it. It's just that it's low priority. If I'll watch it whenever the next MCU big movie team up thing is gonna be, just so I can catch up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or
Yeah,
or binge it when all the episodes are out. I don't have to
and
like,
that's what
yeah,
and that's what they're counting on, Obed. Like they know regardless, people are gonna watch this because it has the name Marvel attached to it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything in Marvel's connected. It's
yeah.
very clear that something here is going to be important. We know, obviously, like on her shirt, right? It has Valkyrie, it has Captain Marvel, and it has Wasp all together. Is it trying to insinuate that that's a new female Avengers type team that's going to be coming in some sorts, or is it just so happen that's his characters? We don't know. Like you watch a show and you find all those answers, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, the connection to Doctor Strange, the connections to obviously the future Miss Marvel movie that's coming with the Marvels, right? That's that they're calling it. She's going to be in that. So yeah, that they're counting on us to continue to keep up with our loyalty, right? To continue to get those views. I don't know about you, Obed. I know we've talked before about the trailer a few times, talked about the Super Bowl one, all this, right? But like as Moon Knight is approaching us, I do not sense as much anticipation for it as other Marvel properties would be on Disney Plus. It looks cool. They've done what they've
It's
done with the marketing, but it does not seem to have as much excitement as you might think.
Yeah,
It might be like a WandaVision, right? Where
I
maybe
think
like
so.
the third or fourth episode, people start to jump in and
Yeah,
rewatch and catch up. But I don't really see a lot of people talking about
yeah,
this one.
yeah. The reception has been kind of soft, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can totally see that. Um, but I'll watch it. Like
Oh,
it
same.
looks good. It looks really
Yeah.
good, and just having a superhero struggling with like mental health stuff, to me just is super
Yeah.
intriguing,
Yeah.
and just to get something different. Yeah, man. Like I'm in on that one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, it's just not for me, right? It didn't resonate, and I know it's not made for me, and I'm not going to pretend, right? It's like like even like we've defended Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not saying that it's indefensible because we don't know, right? At the end of the day, it's just that I am completely indifferent towards it, and I'll watch it when I watch it, and I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. That's what it is. Like it is one of the
Yeah.
things that probably my wife will watch it before I do. Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very, very just passing by, not anything that was
yeah,
special, right? For us.
yeah. I mean,
What could have been? What could have been special?
and I'm not saying unfortunately, right? Because not everything needs to be targeted to me. I don't have to be like the center of attention, right? Like
Yeah.
many, and we've seen that, right, with the fandom, right? It was like, oh, like this is not made for me. This is an attack. I was like, no, like I'm not saying that, right? I'm just saying that it's not for me, and I just move on, right? And I'll watch it when I watch it, and I'm not dissing it. It's just that it's not for me.
Yeah.
So
They just I just feel bad for the payoff. We talk about this all the time. Like the payoff for like the legacy fans is what I feel bad about, right? Because like Star Wars Rebels wasn't made for necessarily like at first people would say, oh, it wasn't made for adults, it was made on a
it
kids
was a bait
network.
and switch for
But then
Rebels.
when you
Yeah,
watch it, you're like, oh snap.
it's like
Like
deep
they you
lore.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Siege of Lothal and all this stuff they start doing.
yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah, I like it when there's payoff. With Marvel, there does tend to be at least something that we can get excited about and be talking about. And I'm sure there's gonna be some cool references that will come out of this. But yeah, man, I was interested to hear your response to it. So I think you and I are on the same page.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm I'm glad I don't feel out of place. um, because I was like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna let Joel go first, just in case, like I'm being too negative, right?
No,
But
no,
okay, so it's good to
yeah,
know that we were on the same boat on
yeah,
this one.
yeah.
That said, there is Daredevil coming back to Disney Plus, right? We all know that all the Marvel shows that were over at Netflix. Is it all, or is it Punisher still floating? Is Punisher
I haven't
Disney?
even honestly, I have not even checked today. Or sorry, yesterday was when the first one up.
I'm
I
gonna
have
go to
not
Disney
physically
Plus right
logged in
now.
and checked it. I've got yeah, say I got the app. I could whip that thing open right now and fact check it. Which, guys, I know all the time we don't spread fake news. We actually
Okay,
fact check.
so I'm logging into Disney Plus on the browser, and I get an advisory now.
Yes, the mature. Yes, that I
Yep,
did
the
see.
TVMA.
Yep.
It says display full catalog, and well, you gotta confirm with your password, I guess. So let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is good that they're putting that extra layer of protection, right? For those that have the kids account and all that.
Yeah, create a profile. Reminding me later for the pin. It's fine. So let's check it out. Because me myself, I haven't checked. Okay, so Daredevil's here. Luke Cage is here. Iron Fist is here. Punisher is here. Yep, they're all
Okay,
here.
cool. There
Yep,
you go.
there you go. So that's it. Going back, is it towards the end of the year that production will begin, or is it coming up in the next few months?
Based on what I understood, it was going to be end of year. That's how I understood it. But there's conflicting depending on which one you read. I went through the IGN one, which was telling us that I guess there's already a production thing, like a pre-production kind of like
Okay.
call out, right?
Well,
And it has a list, but
yeah.
it doesn't say on there exactly when or what like the details are. Just the only thing that's listed is Daredevil reboot is how it's phrased.
Got it. So because they probably already had something written, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Because
I'm
the
sure.
whole Netflix thing was very like a lot of people got blindsided. Like Vincent D'Onofrio's out there, saying it's like, oh, I'm bummed because I really enjoyed it and whatnot. So, they everyone got blindsided by this, and you know, um, yeah, I guess he continues, and we'll see. So, now how much of it will be a full reboot, or just a continuation at this point? We don't know, so we're waiting to get more details on that. On the meantime, let's go ahead and wait for Joe. Seems like he's having a few technical glitches on his end. So I'm gonna be right back. And we're back. Joel's back. We
I live.
we didn't get rid of anyone. Well, where was that? But Joel, I was saying, um, like at this point, we're still not clear, right? If this is going to be a full blown reboot or if there's going to be a continuation of what was already established in the I guess the Netflix first, if you want to call it that. Um, so I guess yeah, I guess we're waiting on final confirmation on that. From what I can tell, right? Because there's other actors out there talking about it. It looks like they're just gonna keep on rolling. But what do you think?
Yeah, I fully expect them to keep intact past events and past characters, and that in continuation of that of the entire Netflix world. Um, I are now obviously now the Disney Plus world, right? Because they got on their space, but I fully expect them to keep it intact because the moment you had Kingpin show up as the same Kingpin, same actor, right? Which makes perfect sense. And then you've got obviously
Matt
you
Murdock
know
on
Matt
Spidey.
Murdock showing up in Spider-Man, like, and then you bring this up to Disney Plus. It's like, okay, it's gonna be Disneyfied. Like you saw, Kingpin was the Disney Kingpin, right? He wasn't smashing in people's heads with car doors. You're not gonna get that Kingpin, right, where he's gonna crack your skull in half. Like
He
you're gonna get the
still
same
could, but
character. You still could, but like you're not gonna get the same thing. I don't think you're gonna get like the mature version of this
yep.
for what the next season will be, even though they just added that on, right? Where you have the mature version of Disney Plus now on there. I don't think that they're gonna continue on the mature route. I think they'll bring it down a notch, kind of like a Moon Knight, whatever what you'll see there, where he's uh fighting, but not as gruesome. And that makes sense for what they've done because it has worked. And like you look at what they're doing with Deadpool, man, like you know they're being very honest where uh, pretty much everyone involved is okay with a PG-13 Deadpool. They're like, it's fine, like we don't need to go hard. There are obviously people in the fandom and space that are like, it has to be hard R. If it's not, this, then it's not gonna be good.
I don't know.
I
The
think
jokes are
no
on
offense,
point though.
no
Well, and
no
do you see
offense.
that Free Guy director is gonna do Deadpool 3? That
He
yeah, I
is,
didn't
yeah.
have it on the docket, but you just reminded me of it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like no offense, like you don't have to be TVMA or rated R to give a quality product. Do I understand there are now limitations that have been added to these characters? I understand that. I'm not saying that hasn't changed. But time and I mean, when you finally get to see Batman Obed, they did not make that rated R, but it felt like it. I mean, that movie did not feel like they held back the punches, and they did such a really good job at delivering the world of Gotham in a PG-13 format, and it's absolutely phenomenal how they were able to do that. I don't see why that should be a hindrance for what the quality of the story and continuation of the character by just making some altercations to things that they've already been successful with. They've already shown us they can do
Yeah,
this.
yeah, they can definitely adapt it and make it, I guess, less gritty. Would be the
Yeah.
word. I guess they are they are pretty violent. I think out of all of them, definitely the one that's the most violent is Punisher. I mean, there's some things in I think season 2 of Daredevil is probably the most violent out of all of them.
Oh yeah, because that's
Um,
Punisher in it.
yeah, and that's exactly why, right?
Yeah,
And then you move on to Punisher, and then it goes super crazy. So I think that's if it's Daredevil, I'm sure they can get around a lot of these things, and you know, leave a lot of the violence like implied and off camera, and you're still gonna get cool fight scenes, right? And
Yeah.
it's still gonna be awesome, but
Yeah.
you know, a compromise
Think
needs to
think
be
of The
made.
Dark Knight. The Dark Knight wasn't rated R, but
No,
that you've got people's throats being
yeah,
sliced and whatever, and they
right.
just did it very uniquely.
It,
Nolan,
and it's implied, yeah, exactly. I mean, you're getting that dude getting hung,
straight
the
up.
Batman impersonator,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. It's pretty gross. and,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
it's still pretty, dude. It's like it looking you, and I keep looking back at this movie, right? Did you go because it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's Casino Royale. That movie's PG
Oh yeah.
13, dude.
I
That,
know.
that movie
And
is crazy.
that hits the line.
That's like, yo, how are
Who did
you?
they pay to keep that PG-13?
Right,
Conspiracy theories.
right. Like
Oh, but we should become a conspiracy theory channel. We probably would do
well,
pretty good.
I don't know if you ever saw that documentary that's on I think it's Netflix about the MPAA. I don't know if you
No, I
ever
haven't seen it.
no, you never seen it.
I love me a good
Oh man.
documentary.
Yeah, let me see what it's called because it's really good. So it's a documentary about the MPAA and about how they're basically like elitists, and it's a group of people that no one knows who they are, and they who knows that even if they like movies, and it's pretty crazy, right? Documentary. Oh, this film
Yeah.
is not yet rated. It's from 2006.
I thought it's called. Okay, yeah.
But it's 2006 that
Mm.
like Casino Royale came out around the same time. So yeah, check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, I'll
Like,
definitely check
yeah,
that out.
'cause,
I love
yeah,
that
like
stuff.
Kevin Smith is in it, and it's like, oh yeah, because it's like we're trying to do these things, and then they go like crazy. It's like, oh, you can't like rated NC-17. It's like, why? It's just a body part, and it's like so it's yeah.
And I know that like the whole PG-13 thing came about from Spielberg, if I'm not mistaken, with I think it was Raiders of the Lost Ark or
It
what,
was. It was
what
the
was it?
second one. It was
Second
Temple of
one.
Doom. Yeah,
Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
where
of the
that,
hard
that
rip.
became a thing.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
Molaram went and his hard pulling thing, that
yeah.
and that movie was rated PG, and people were like horrified, and it's like, oh yeah, we got to do something, we got to do like an in between sort of thing. So
And that became basically the standard.
yeah, basically like any
Is most films.
action, yeah, any action movie, it's at least PG-13, right? And then it goes up. But there was that period of time, right, from like I want to say like 85 to 2000, right, where you had things like RoboCop and Predator and the 99 with the Matrix, and then the Die Hards and all the True Lies and all the Arnold stuff that was in between, right? That was rated R, and those movies were extremely popular. Like all those like Stallone, like Demolition Man, and all this that did fantastic in the box office, and they were all rated R. For a moment there, right, for a good 15 years, there was a period of time where basically all the hit movies were R.
Yeah,
When you think
because
about
that's
it,
all that they had. They didn't. They had to be either fully commit to that
yep.
or PG. There was
Or
no in,
yeah,
in the
or no,
middle.
you got the Disney G, right? Because
Oh
Disney
yeah,
Disney
yeah.
now are PG, right? Disney movies are
Yes,
PG now. Not before then, everything was G. Like starting with Little
I
Mermaid,
remember that.
with the
Yep.
renaissance of Disney animation up until Toy Story, and then the Pixar stuff. So yeah, it's crazy, man.
Man,
Now you gotta hit that PG-13 if you want to make it, right? It's
yeah.
crazy.
Seriously, yeah,
Yeah.
very true.
But I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what comes out of Daredevil on Disney Plus. Joe, I know that there's not a lot of info, and this is just basically a rumor based on an actor. Uh,
Hey, if it comes from the
it comes
the
from
person
the
who's
actor,
actually in
right?
it, you got to give it some
Yeah,
credibility.
yeah. So, I guess Samuel L. Jackson is, talked to Bryce Dallas Howard for her to bring Mace Windu back to life, and I'm like, sure, why not? It's like crazier stuff has been done. Dude flew off a window. I don't know where he landed. Was he dead? Did he just force jump backwards? Was he able to resist the force lightning because of him having some, I guess, He was attuned to the dark side of the Force as well. We don't know, right? Was he the one to save Grogu? I don't know. But yeah, man. What do you think?
Look, we mention this all the time when it comes to this. Mace Windu falling and surviving is not a hard thing to consider if you are a Star Wars
Because
fan. You
Palpatine did it
understand.
already and came back.
Palpatine. I was gonna say Luke. Luke got his arm cut off and fell the same way he did in Cloud
Empire,
City and Bespin, right? In Empire, right? We see at the end of the movie, he gets his arm cut off and he falls, and he still survived. Mace Windu, obviously, we understand. I have nothing bad to say about Luke. This could be controversial for some people.
Oh.
Mace Windu is a more advanced Jedi than Luke Skywalker was
At that moment.
Empire.
At that moment,
At
yeah.
that moment,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
In Empire, I want to be clear, right?
Yeah.
He lived, and he used the Force to survive, right? Mace Windu, a powerful Jedi,
Was number
who
2 in the
toys with
council,
the dark
man.
side. Number 2, right? Him and Yoda, they were powerful people.
Yep.
If he's fallen with one arm, I don't think he just gives up and just dies, right? Like I think the dude definitely tried something, right? So yeah, that out of the way, sure. Now him speaking to Bryce Dallas Howard specifically about this, I love that because let's be real, her episodes are so the best episodes that she can.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it's a crime if this woman does not make a Star Wars movie at any point. We're gonna get to that in a second.
Yeah.
She should be the one that's being announced to make a movie right now. Let's be real.
Honestly.
Because when she makes stuff, her episodes on Mandalorian and Boba Fett are always very fan-centric episodes. Like it's not fan-centric like in a goofy, weird way. It's fan-centric and like very respectful and giving people something that will make them really feel good and feel happy, right? So bringing Mace Windu back would be an episode like hers where she gives some fan service where she brings Mace Windu into the show and does it in a way that she knows what the fans would want because she gets it, right? So I love that. Like I love that. But yeah, I mean, you know, people will make their comments like, well, if Mace Windu survived, you know, and he's in the stuff like, how come we never hear about him or he doesn't do anything? It's like, well, because those stories have not been told. And with the Obi-Wan series, Obed, like this is pointing clearly between the time of A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, and I think there's a lot of stories to be told between that time period.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the Catholic stuff here in a second. Like that's clearly something that I think they're going to be happy to go backwards, where they were always staying away, right? Disney was staying away from that prequel-ish time.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I think that's such a safe space. You're seeing with Boba Fett, you're seeing this with Mandalorian, all the stuff where they went right after, right? Episode 6. Now we're seeing a switch going back even further now. And I think this could be a gold jackpot mine there. If he wants to be in it, do it.
If you think about it, in like the last 5 years, right, we got in Rebels, we got Bad Batch, and we got Jedi Fallen Order. So like we've gotten a bunch of, you know, different Star Wars, I guess, properties, right? And they're all set in that time period.
And they're all good.
And they're excellent. They're excellent. And there's definitely stories to tell, right? There's like it's not like there's not meat to cut, right? But dude, it's like Jedi's hiding from the Empire, and Solo. Like don't forget about Solo. Solo's the same.
Well,
yes.
Sometimes we forget it, but yes.
Sometimes we forget about Solo, but you know what?
But it's there.
You know what? Solo. I'm gonna try and rewatch it soon. I think
I rewatched it recently. Believe it or not.
Okay. Yeah. I think Solo's okay. Like off the bat, right? The first time you watch it, it's kind of disappointing, right? I enjoyed Solo a lot more the second time through.
Agreed.
So I think I'm gonna give Solo a watch soon. Honestly, yeah. But yeah, it's anything, right? Anything goes. Like all this, like we saw a bunch of other, you know, a lot of the other Jedi's that were not shown during Order 66 and, you know, Rebels, or not Rebels, but Revenge of the Sith, and then that they didn't die in Rebels, and you know, all this stuff. So there's definitely meat to cut, right? You know, Obi-Wan sent a message, and you know how many ever Jedi were out there that got the message.
They heard it.
They heard it. So Yeah, man. No, I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't want him to be like too like overpowering because I think the stories that they're telling with like the Mando stuff is really good, and they should keep focus, right? But bringing him back and have him have some sort of like significance to either Grogu or maybe connect to, because I based on rumor, right, there's stuff there that's going to happen in the next season of Mando that's going to like directly like connect to uh Force Awakens. Like they're going to start connecting stuff, right? um yeah.
How cool would it be if they had a series where it's old Mace Windu and this guy from Fallen Order, Cal
Cal
Kestis,
Kestis.
like together,
Yeah.
right? And like old Mace is like sitting around a fire telling old stories about like the Clone Wars, and like Cal is like, doing missions or whatever.
Well, Cal was there, yeah, because Cal was a
Cal was
Padawan
there.
during the Clone
Yep.
Wars, yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a feeling that we'll see Cal in the Obi-Wan show, but
I know. And
uh,
bring the exact actor in,
yeah, yeah, no, yeah, because it's his likeness, right,
It's his
from the
likeness.
game. But just a segue, right? Because we knew about the Obi-Wan rewrites. That's nothing new to us. We knew about
No,
it. We talked about it in the show before. Uh,
100%.
but now they're saying that Darth Maul was going to be the Vader, and they decided to switch. Could whatever that thing that happened with Ray Park, could that have been it, Joel? Do you think?
I don't think so.
You think so?
I don't think so. I think the continuity with Rebels, like because of how much Filoni's involved in all this stuff
Mm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they were, because allegedly Filoni was the one who said it should be Vader. He was the one who said no, like if we're gonna do this, we need to bring back Hayden and we need to do Vader.
Got it.
Um, and I could see him being the one to stick up for, because he worked so hard on what he did with the Rebels
Yeah.
for that moment, and I still think it could work. You and I and most fans, I think would like to see Maul versus Obi-Wan and some kind of hunting him and seeing that more.
Yeah.
And I still think it'd be fine, but I could see where they might say, you know what, it would be even cooler if we could have Darth Vader. And honestly, Obed, I would rather have Darth Vader than Darth
Oh
Maul.
yeah, dude.
So there is no like, it's a cool
A million
what could have
percent.
been,
Yeah.
but at the same time, do you really think this is the only season? Because Kathleen Kennedy made some comments that they
Yeah.
may be coming back for more.
Yeah. Yep. Because it seems like I think, right, based on what's out there, that it seems like everyone had a really good experience doing it, and they're open to doing a second season. That was, I don't mind. It's my favorite Star Wars character. It's
Same.
one of my favorite characters of anything like ever, dude.
Anything.
And and yeah, if you want to do the mole thing next, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good
Yeah.
with that, right?
Yeah.
So
Actually, probably would work better that way, actually, if they did
yeah,
Maul right after, because
yeah,
of timeline. Like
yeah,
get him
exactly.
getting older and seeing that. I mean, I hope in this show they don't do a time jump where they try and make him like, with the full white hair trying to
I
be
don't think
Alec Guinness.
so.
I hope they don't do that. I don't think they would either. But look, take it to the bank, guys. March 17th, 2022 is when we recorded this. If they get this show right, this could be the best Star Wars we have seen in a long, like we
Since Rogue
talked and
One,
raved about. Yeah, dude,
because I love Rogue
this
One.
this could be the one. This could be the one that makes Rogue One dwarfed easily if they get it right.
Yeah,
Vader in this could be way, like he makes Rogue One Vader look, simple. This
yeah,
could go crazy
yeah.
if they get it right.
Yeah, and did you see also that there again, because we talked about it before? There's no confirmation of James Earl Jones coming back,
No,
dude.
they've not said
They
anything.
they would have said it already. I think
I agree.
I think it's done. I mean, the man's 91 years old. I know that fans would just like, oh, he's not Vader because he's not James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
And
I love
you know
James.
what?
I
And
love
I
James.
love him, right? But he's 91 years old. I just want to be chilling in my house for the next, however
No, if it
months
was you,
or
Obit, if you were
years.
Darth Vader's voice and you're 91 years old as a fan, dude, you'd be like speaking on like laying in your bed like with a microphone to your
Exactly, and
mouth.
it wouldn't sound the same. So
It would sound the same.
yeah, I mean, whoever did the voice on Fallen Order did a fine job.
That's true.
You know, I don't I don't mind. Hayden could do it. I don't care. Like
Well,
you could,
they just do a mismatch of voices, like
yeah,
mix it.
because Hayden could still do it. They just put it through the sound thing. Just put it
Yeah,
just put
but
just put it through Audacity or
basically,
Audition.
because with we just were talking about Rebels, right? So when they did the Twin Sons episode, they altered the voice to give you Alec Guinness's voice for that episode, and like the work that they did as an audio team to really bring Alec Guinness's voice, it sounded like Alec.
It did sound
Like
like
it
it.
sounded perfect, like as Obi-Wan like that.
Yeah.
The technology is here today that they could still continue, but honestly, I would not count out that James has done the voice yet. I wouldn't. I wouldn't expect it. I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. It's kind of late to do it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, there's
I mean,
a chance.
like I
Man.
said, the guy's 91, dude. It's like
I know.
we haven't heard from him in
The
months.
fact that he did Mufasa was already like
Yeah,
amazing.
that was what 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's a
So
while.
if you've had like elderly people in your family, you know how
Yeah.
how south things go real quick once they get part past a certain age. So it's tough, right? It's I don't blame.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like it's like people are mad. It's like, why are you mad, dude? The dude's probably dying. Like for all I know, right? I don't
I
know.
don't know, man. I
It's
don't know,
like,
but I mean, I remember with I watched The Hobbit again recently, right?
okay,
And like Ian McKellen, right? Like I remember hearing stories of like he
no,
starts to forget his
not Ian McKellen, but
McKellen. Sorry,
Christopher Lee.
yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah,
He was like 93.
like 93.
Yeah,
Like
man.
forgetting his lines. Like he was starting, like they said, like they had to like kind of like help him say his
Yeah.
stuff because he wasn't remembering his script. He was really trying,
Mhm.
So sad, very sad.
Yeah.
That's a dark man. Let's get past this
Yeah,
conversation.
I know.
Get me
Well, during the
emotional,
Hobbit,
and,
like was
morbid.
Christopher Lee died when he was like 94, right? When he died, he was pretty old.
Yeah, man.
And but he
He
did
was
the
awesome.
Hobbit, dude. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I
Like
know.
that dude was such a badass. I was like,
That's why I'm
94
saying,
years
like, if
old.
I'm James Earl Jones, I don't care if I'm like laying in my bed. I'm like, bring me the
Yeah.
microphone.
Well, he did that thing recently on
Yeah.
that Coming to America too, right? On
He did?
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw a clip
I
of
don't
him,
think
yeah.
I don't think he was there long, and he was like in bed during his scenes. But
as terrible as it is, they killed him off in the movie because I
oh,
saw
yeah,
the
yeah.
clip
Well, there
online.
you go. Yeah. Okay.
Like he literally just sits up and he's like, "All right, I'm dead."
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but yeah, I heard it was not
No,
good. I heard it was not good.
no, that's not for me, anyways. If you know what I mean.
Well, first movie's good, man. First movie's
Yeah,
pretty good.
but we were just talking about what's
Pretty
for
good
us
stuff.
and what's not for us. That was not for me.
Okay. I gotcha. Oh, yeah. I guess you haven't watched the latest trailer for the boys, right?
Oh no,
Okay.
no, I haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
that's
Amazon.
it's bonkers, dude. So that show's so
getting
good, yeah. Man.
Amazon's getting God of War. They're getting
MGM got finalized today. Did you see that?
MGM got finalized
Yeah,
today.
man.
So,
So they own-
Amazon's
they own
really
Rocky.
going for it.
It's like what do they own now? MGM IPs.
I heard it's like over 25,000 hours worth of stuff. So
Oh, because they own a lot of the archival stuff. But
yeah, Bond.
I was watching a thing on MGM, right? And it's crazy because they don't own like a lot of their older like big deal stuff, like Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind and all this stuff that MGM did back in the day. Like Warner owns it.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Imagine how much Disney had to pay when they had that great movie ride for all those different scenes.
That was a
like,
whole big fart. If you look at the Great Movie Ride and the
Yeah.
makeup and all, yeah, and that's why it's not there anymore.
yeah.
it's
I
not
mean,
because
I
Disney
loved
didn't
that
want it.
ride.
There was a
I
lawsuit.
loved that ride.
There was a lawsuit in the '90s for that too. like because Disney was like lowballing them, and MGM was like, "Oh no, you need to pay those," and Michael Eisner was like, "But you guys are bankrupt though, so
Eisner.
here's like 48 cents for your rights." So
Wow.
it's crazy. Yeah, that whole great movie right thing. Like if you guys want to watch like something like super interesting and you like Disney ride stuff, like look up like Defunctland or Yesterworld, and
Yesterworld.
yeah, because they go in depth into like the Great Movie Ride and why it closed and back in the day. Although the last few years with the AMC and then the card not having like the actual
Yeah.
cast member, like it wasn't the same, right? And I think that was like that for like 2 years. I think the last few weeks they ran it with like a cast member there, but just because they were closing. But it was, yeah, it's very very interesting. MGM is like crazy, right? Because like do they even own James Bond anymore, or is that
I heard that
Sony?
was included.
Right?
I heard they
Okay,
still got it.
okay,
I think Sony has the distribution rights,
got it. Okay,
which is kind of like you see like with Spider-Man now, right? Like they like Marvel funds and creates it, and then Sony distributes it.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so it's like a win-win for Sony. It's
Right.
like $1.5 billion, and they've Amy Pascal just was there just saying yes to stuff, and this all that they did on their end.
Yeah, literally. Literally.
Man,
You get your name on the credits while someone else, goes to work on it.
yeah. Oh, it
Perfect.
looks like the part of the distribution stuff is done with Sony.
Oh,
Interesting. Oh, it could be for other stuff, but yeah, it's very interesting. So you guys should definitely take a look at that. Oh yeah, so they own Bond, Rocky,
that's good.
yeah, Legally Blonde, RoboCop.
Yeah.
So we can we
Those
can
are
get.
household
Oh,
names.
bro, can you imagine now that Amazon owns RoboCop, we get
A legit
a
one.
legit one
Yeah.
like the boys violent and
Well, they got the money, man. Like it
yeah,
will
man.
visually look good.
RoboCop, the perfect film. Also, look that up if you have time, and why RoboCop is a perfect film. Just look at it. It's the perfect. It's the most perfectly symmetrical film ever made, or something like that. It's incredible. That
You ever
movies.
watch the new one?
Oh yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's ridiculous. No, that first one, man, top 10 for me for sure. It's it's definitely up there. And I don't know how I feel about this, right? Because of what J.J. Abrams' friend, Damon Lindelof, is apparently attached to a Star Wars project. I don't know how much of this is, you know, legit, right? We've seen this happen before with people getting attached to projects, and then you never hear from them again. Like Patty Jenkins and the Game of Thrones dudes and all these guys that got fired before. So I don't know. So how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a negative view on it, right? But it's not anything that gets me excited. And which is strange, right? Because you're like, it's a Star. That means there's another Star Wars project in development. You should be excited just from that announcement,
Please be excited.
right? But I think because of our hesitancy from just out of care and compassion for the franchise, we want to see it be its best, right? And thankfully, fortunately, what we've had recently from the TV side has been really strong and able to keep keep that spirit of Star Wars really alive, right? But on the film side, it's something that there's a big hesitancy. You want to be very careful with it. It's not a it is not, as far as we know, at least right now, right? It's not a they're not bringing back another Skywalker trilogy or something like that, right? Like this is not one of the episodic films, as far as we understand, right? Obviously, that could change, but to my understanding, it doesn't seem like that's what it is. There's not much information on what it actually fully is. The source it comes from, I will say, is very trustworthy. This is one of those I would take this very seriously. This guy, Jeff Snyder's pretty right on like his stuff. I've seen him for a while now, and when he says stuff, he's got sources in Hollywood. So unless something changes, of course, or they just cut ties with him, this probably is very serious and happening and being worked on right now. So what does that leave us with? Well, then it leaves us to speculate on what is the future of the cinematic side of Star Wars, because we see big characters coming to the TV side, right? We see, we're seeing Ahsoka, right? In another world, Obed, Ahsoka would have been a Star Wars movie. In another world, Obi-Wan series would have been a
Yeah.
movie. Like in another time, right? Like Han Solo was a
Boba
movie
Fett.
where Boba Fett would have been a movie, right? Han
Yeah.
Solo would have been like, if that was made just now, that would have been a TV series. That would not have been a movie. I
Correct. Yeah.
believe that, right? So what does the movies for Star Wars look like going forward? There's a huge question mark on that, man. I think they want another trilogy. I feel like that's what they really want, is a something that feels like it has to be. It's called Star Wars, right? Like a war film. I think that has to be spread on a big screen. But I don't know that it's going to necessarily be something so connected to the legacy of Star Wars as it is maybe creating a new offshoot, a new spin-off to some extent, is what I'm looking at. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah. What's difficult to me right now? It's understanding exactly what a Star Wars movie is now.
Yeah.
After we've gotten, after Mando season 2, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And then Boba Fett was hit and miss, but the hits were so good
Yeah.
that it it was that again. It wasn't perfect, but the moments that were good were just phenomenal. And that's the thing, right? How do you take that and bring it to the big screen, and then whatever happens in Obi-Wan and all this stuff? Yeah, what's a Star Wars movie now? I mean, I'm sure that Lucasfilm has already been through the process of going through. It's like, what does this look like now, right?
Yeah.
Now that we've had the TV stuff out, and Bad Batch, and things that resonate more with their core audience and the newer people. So, I don't know. It's it's a hard question. I'm sure they probably have an answer.
Yeah.
Whether we like that answer or not, we'll see, right?
Right.
But uh, it's intriguing, right? And having we don't know to what extent he's involved. And again, he could be a producer, he could be something else. He probably won't be helming a movie, right? They could, I mean, for all I know, they could bring him in for the Bryce Dallas Howard project. I don't know, which is what we all want.
Is what I'm saying. If anyone's gonna do a movie right now, it should be her. I'm sorry, like, because I would trust her to take what we've seen to a fan made feel good. That's what she does. She makes people feel like
Yeah,
the good side of the fandom comes out in her episodes. So as a movie, I would fully expect that to be just a fun, good time, which is what Star Wars needs right now. It doesn't
yeah,
need to be this super dark, different kind of new thing. It needs
no,
to feel good. It needs to feel like home. It needs to
exactly.
feel like what we know about the franchise. So
Yeah,
I'm not saying what this guy, clearly they have faith in this man for them to be doing this, whatever he's pitched or whatever his idea was. I mean, this all came about supposedly from this insider that leaked this. This all stemmed from a 2020 interview he did, where he publicly said, "I want to make a Star Wars project," and they heard that in the interview. They talked to him, and clearly from whatever he had then, like he was so passionate about the state publicly that he actually had an idea clearly from then,
okay,
or something from them that they actually liked. So I like that. I like that hearing that. That means that it probably is something they feel very strongly about, or at least he personally feels very strongly about to do this. So we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Um, Last bit of news that I have here, Joel. I don't know if you've two quick bits. Um, Elden Ring, 12 million copies worldwide,
Amazing.
smash hit, biggest IP, biggest new IP since The Division. So, congrats to From Software with knocking it out of the park. And good luck with your Sony acquisition pretty soon. Moving on. There's a patent that Nintendo filed for a new, I guess, a Switch controller. It's basically, it kind of looks like an N64 controller for the Switch, but there's already one. I think, Joe, that this is the N64 Mini, if you ask me.
Mm,
Like, I don't think this is a controller for the Switch. I think this is something for, what they're doing, and I think that they're bringing back the minis, and I think the N64 Mini will fit right in with how things are right now. I think this is what this is. So I don't think this is for the Switch at all. I don't think the Switch Pro controller before the Dual Shock, but before the Dual Sense, right? To me, was the best controller ever. With the exception that it doesn't have a headphone port. Like if it would have a headphone port, that's it, done deal. Best controller, right? But then the DualSense came out, and the DualSense is just so much better in every single way that it's like, okay, well, we're good. By the way, I didn't mention it in Horizon, dude. It's nuts. Like it's like every time you have to pry something open, you actually have to like force the trigger in, like actually use
yeah.
force to. Oh, it's crazy. And I was like, how do they do this? It's wizardry. It's fantastic. It's like Joe's over there flipping his table. So, uh, but yeah, if you ask me, I know that you saw the article, but what do you think?
Yeah, I did not suspect what you just said. That was not something that I, you know, guessed, right? I thought it was a Switch specific accessory, right? And I'm like, maybe this is because they're going to bring certain N64 titles to the Switch that they want to kind of bundle it together and sell it as a thing. But it probably makes more sense like to be what you just explained, right? To be a new product, right? Put that together, a nostalgia piece, because the Switch doesn't need a new controller. The Pro controller is perfect, like you said. And if
Good.
you add something like this, it's cool. It's fine. It's not. I'm sure fans would welcome it. But I don't know how well it would do. But if you make it a new product as a whole, right, where it's you buy this thing and you get basically your modern N64 experience, but still taking it back to its roots, right, with the controller design. Okay, I could see that selling well. Very confused, not 100% certain on the direction of this. A lot of it makes sense, a lot of it doesn't make sense, and I don't necessarily mean it doesn't make sense as in like why would they do this? It just means like I'm not sure where they're going with this,
Yeah.
but I like that. I like that, like Nintendo, what Nintendo's doing right now. I like that they're working on something. Obviously, patents are public, right? That's the only reason why this stuff comes out, why we're knowing it. But they're being mysterious and they're working on the next thing. And whatever this is, I'm sure we'll be finding out soon enough. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to look forward to something like this to find out what really it is. But I love the speculation. That's what we do as fans, right? We break down what it could be, what could mean, and you make a very good case, Obed. I think I would stand behind what you have to say there.
Yeah. I guess we'll see whenever E3 time comes around. June. I don't know if you saw EA canceled their thing too, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be a weird year. I think EA, it's I don't think they're doing too good, man. I mean,
no,
they're still banking on the mobile stuff, but I don't think things are as bright as some may may want you to think. I think
I'm
they're really just banking on the license projects like the Star Wars ones and football, but
Fallen Order 2. When is that supposed to be coming out?
well, that's the thing because we were supposed to hear something for this year, but then them canceling the event makes it sound like it's still not ready. So,
Because Eclipse. When is that one?
bro, Eclipse. I don't know if you saw, dude, that I guess a bunch of people in the studio quit, and that thing is
Well,
like a
was that was
2020.
because of what's going on the internal side? Is that because of that whole other
Yeah, because Quantic Dream,
situation?
yeah, Quantic Dream has had a not to the scale of Activision, right?
No, but they've had
But they've
some.
had some stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like
No way.
they're saying that this is a 2025 title.
because of everyone that left. They
Yeah.
got to basically.
Yeah. Like they now it's weird because this has been going on for a couple of weeks, right? And then
Yeah.
today Quantic Dream said it's like, oh no, the project's still on track. But I don't know.
Wow.
So
I was that trailer was hyped, dude.
they're a little hype, yeah. Yeah,
That
and
was-
they're perfectly capable of giving you like a very good like story driven, adventure thing. It's crazy, right? But now like they're saying like it got pushed to like 2025. That's the rumor. So it's gonna be at least 3 more years until we probably see that project. So
Wow.
we shall see, sir. So we got. Just went ahead and wrap it up, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for your time. We ask that you would stay connected with us. Subscribe to our show. Your podcast listener, we want you to subscribe on our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Music, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. Check us out on your podcast platform of choice. Hit that subscribe. Also, you can subscribe to the video version of our channel, of our show, rather. And the video version is on our YouTube channel. Subscribe there, like the videos, drop us a comment, share the episodes with your friends and family. We'd really appreciate that. Maybe you got some friends that are big Star Wars geeks like us. Share it with them, right? Have these fun, entertaining conversations. Also, we invite you to stay connected with our social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. If you're watching the video version, you'll see all those handles down below. And of course, we encourage you to follow us on our Twitch account as well. No Load Time altogether. That's No Load Time on Twitch. Also, we want you to send an email to us if you have any questions, comments, or feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all so much, and we look forward to coming back to you live in our next episode.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.
Yeah, just one quick update there.
Oh. What's up? What's up?
You didn't cut it? Okay, good.
Breaking news?
One last update. We are not going to be here next week. We'll be coming back. Sorry, we'll come back. We're coming back next. Excuse me. We'll come back on Friday next week.
Yep.
Friday, not Thursday. If you're watching this live.
That's correct.
I wanted to make the cut. I made the cut.
Nah, you're good. Still, guys, stay safe. We'll see you again next time.